Today we are reviewing the Big Agnes Tiger Wall UL2 semi-freestanding tent. So what comes with your Tiger Wall UL2 is a storage bag, a tent body, a rain fly, DAC aluminum poles that all have shock cord to hold them together, storage sack for your aluminum poles, storage sack for your stakes, and 9 tent stakes, and this. What this is a splint. If you break one of your aluminum poles, you can put the splint over it so that it will still function as a tent, so don't get rid of that. Keep that with you on all your trips. So here's an accessory you can get for your Tiger Wall UL2, and that is the footprint. This weighs 6 to 7 ounces. The floor of the tent is relatively durable. I haven't felt like I even have to carry this, but if you need to do a fast fly setup and you have this, it works really well. All right, so now that we got the fast fly set up, let me explain why this is useful. Now, if you're out in a situation where it starts raining, you can set this up like this, and this way you don't get your tent body wet or your stuff wet. You can get all that in here like this so that the rain's not coming down on it. Now, I left this door open right here so that you could see inside, and I'm going to open up this other side, fully open on this side, so you can see me actually put it up. But if I was in a rainstorm, I would take and let this door down and zip it shut, and then I'd be completely isolated from all the weather. So as you can see, it's really roomy in here, and it makes it nice because you have plenty of room to move around, and it gives you a shelter from the rain. So here, let me show you this. The reason why they call this a semi-freestanding tent is because of this bar right here. At the foot end, there's only a single bar that goes down, so you have to stake out that corner and that corner right there in order to get the full breadth of the tent. Now, why would somebody do that? Well, it saves weight. Otherwise, if you look at one that's a fully freestanding tent, it has a bar that goes down like this and a bar that goes down like that in order to keep those corners out, and that adds more weight. So this is lighter, but it does mean you have to stake out at least a minimum of 2 corners. Now let's take a look at the rain fly. Now the rain fly is this polyurethane coated ripstop nylon, and it works really well. I've had this in rainstorms where the rainstorms lasted for at least 24 hours straight and no leakage whatsoever. Now, you will get sag out of this. So when this gets wet, it will sag, which means you'll have to go out and kind of stretch everything out a little bit, but it will not leak. At least mine has not leaked. So this has just been an excellent material, and considering the weight of the tent, the durability of this is incredible for that weight. So let's take a look at this. So across the top here, you have this T-bar that goes across. And the nice thing about this T-bar is it really pushes your walls out. So you'll see when I get the tent body in here, it's nice and roomy on the inside with walls that are close to vertical because of this T-bar that goes across here. Other tents will save weight by making this T-bar either smaller or just a piece of plastic that goes like that. But this is a great design because it really makes this tent roomy. All these poles here are DAC aluminum, which is really nice and lightweight and very strong. So this tent is very durable and it will really do well for you. Now let me go ahead and set up the fly on the inside so that you can see what it would look like if you set it up in a rainstorm. Now remember, I am going to open up this side also so that you have a wide open side. You would not do that in a rainstorm, but for this demonstration, that way you can actually see me putting stuff up. So let me get the camera set up and I will get to it. So I'm going to try to film it and show you the best I can. I have to use my ultra wide lens, so things may seem a little distorted, but that's the only way I can kind of capture in this enclosed space. So I start with the tent body. Now I roll my tent up, and the reason I do that is I'm kind of OCD in that way, and I like everything to be in a way so that when I go to put up my tent, it's really simple for me to do so. So I roll it up, and which makes it so all I have to do is unroll it when I'm in here. So the first thing I like to do is just unroll my tent, kind of like this, and I'll just lay it out and I'll see. Now, as you can see, this is the front of the tent, so I gotta, or the foot, as you can see, that was the foot of the tent, so I have to turn it around like this so that it's aimed the right direction, and then I can open the tent up. Typically I'm on this side of the tent when I'm setting this up, but I'm just trying to show you how I do it, so I'm gonna kind of do it in an awkward way so that you can see stuff. So I identify where the clips that go on the crossbar are, and I start by putting this centerpiece up. So let me pop this upwards like this. So I start by putting the center clip up right there. From there, all you have to do is pull this grommet out. All you have to do is pull the grommet out, and then you can clip your tent in like that, and then you put the grommet back in, just like that. Now, like I said, I'm doing this a little bit awkward so that you can hopefully see everything. So now I have that in. So now I'm going to take this grommet out like this, and then I'm going to take and get the clip, and I'm going to put the clip in just like that, and then I'm going to put the grommet right back in. So now I've got this part of my tent body all clipped up. So all we have to do now is clip in the four corners and the top up here, and do the same with the foot, and then we'll be done, all without getting wet. Now let me put this out like this and hope you can see it. So the next thing I do is I tend to like to do the head end of the tent. So I go and I start putting the clips up like this. Let me get the camera in here so you can see it better. All right. So after you have these two clips up, then I just clip out the two corners. So here's a corner, and then I'll put the other clips up, and you just keep going around putting all your clips up. Put these up to the pole. So now as you can see, my tent body is all connected and set up. The only mistake I did, which is just because I was trying to film, was on the corners out here, you have to detach the fly from the footprint and clip it to the tent body. just like that. Now I had told you that I'm going to leave this side open so you can see things. That way you can see the things that I'm talking about. The Big Agnes Tiger Wall has this nice zipper system with 2 zips. The nice thing about that is, as you can see, I just did it one-handed and I didn't have to hold anything. That makes it really convenient. So the nice thing is you can just roll it up and get your door out of the way, and it gives you a nice big opening like that. As you can see, it's got this beautiful tall bathtub floor. I would say it's somewhere between 4 and 5 inches. The mesh on it is thin, but it is durable. It doesn't feel like you're going to tear it. So as you can see, it's got a nice big opening here. It's easy for me to get in, and I can sit up in this. It's got a 39-inch floor to ceiling height, and I am 6'1", so that gives you an idea of how tall it is. So here's a shot of the foot. This is a 2-person tent. It is 42 inches at the foot, and then at the top, at the head end, it is 52 inches. Now what that means is you can put 2 25-inch wide mummy style mats in here, but you cannot put 2 rectangular mats in here that are 25 inches wide, which a lot of people don't like. Now, I tend to use my 2-person tents as glorified 1-person tents. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, but as you can see, because of that crossbar that I talked about, it really opens up the walls so that the walls are almost vertical. It's really nice. Got these loops all over the place. So I absolutely love this gear loft. It is huge up here. You can put so much stuff up here. It's got a nice pocket up here that you can put your phone in. And for people who use earbuds that have a cord, it has one on each side so you can run your earbud cord through here. So it's also got these 2 pockets down at the head end on each side. I scooted all the way up to the head end of the tent so that you could see this. So hopefully this is able to be seen. So if I put my back against the wall is so steep that I can have my head up here, and even with my hat, it's not touching the top up here, which is really nice. The way that they designed this just really created a lot of space in here. So this fabric looks a little loose, but that's just because I haven't gone outside and tightened everything down. But your vestibule area out here is just really large. I can fit my pack and all my gear within one vestibule, which is nice. The purpose of the vestibule is to keep it out of the rain. The other thing that's nice is they got these double zippers up here, so you can open up the top up here and let some air in. And if you only do it a little bit like this, it has an overlap for the rain so that no rain gets in, but you can still get ventilation. And you can do that on both sides. You would do the other one right here. This floor is a ripstop nylon that is a polyurethane coating. It hasn't leaked on me yet. I've had this tent for about a year, and it is really durable. I don't bring the footprint if I don't think I will need the Fast Fly, because I can shave 6 ounces that way, and this floor has been plenty durable for me. I haven't torn it yet in a single spot, and I've had this tent for about a year, so it's just beautifully constructed. All the seams are taped, so you don't have to worry about sealing the seams like you do with some tents. Just all their stitching, everything is just really well done. So this tent, the way you get it in the package is 2 pounds 8 ounces. So if you just do the fast fly, it's only 1 pound 11 ounces, and there's a lot of people that do that and use it like a tarp tent. It is 86 inches long inside the bathtub floor for you to be able to lay down in. It is 42 inches wide at the foot and 52 inches wide at the head. So another nice thing about this tent is it's what's called double-walled construction. So what that means is you have an inner wall, which is this mesh, and you have an outer wall. And so when the condensation gets on the outer wall, because they've designed it in a way that you have all this distance between it, even if you touch the inner wall with your sleeping bag or your quilt, it will not get condensation on it from the outer wall because it won't touch the outer wall. Now, there's no way that you can always keep condensation out of a tent. Some tents get it worse than others based on their designs. I have found that this one does really well with condensation management. And when I've been in situations where there's just tons of condensation and there's nothing you can do about it, like in fog and stuff like that, the double wall construction works really well, and it just rolls down off the tent. And Big Agnes has a couple different versions. They have a lighter version and a super light version, but they're all similar as far as how they're built and how they look and everything, just lighter materials and so forth. But at 2 pounds 8 ounces for $450, this tent is expensive, but it's reasonably priced expensive compared to some other ones like the Nemo Hornet Elite Osmo, which is $600. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.